Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be making these over-the-collar dog bandanas. These are very beginner sewing friendly, super easy. They're a great item to put in your Etsy shop or if you have an online store. Super easy to make, pretty inexpensive to make, and they're very versatile. They're two-sided. You can use either side of the collar, so you basically get two bandanas out of one. And I've got a free downloadable pattern. So let's get started. This is how the bandana works. There's just simply a channel right here and your dog's collar just fits right through it. It's double-sided. You could make them both the same, but I figured why not get 2 for 1 and make 2 bandanas out of one. So you can put it this way, turn the collar over, put it around the dog's neck this way, and that's your bandana. Or flip the collar over, put it around the neck, and you've got this side. So I like to do 2 different fabrics, but you can do whatever you like. Now, as far as what size, what you want to do is take the collar and measure how long it is. Brinkley's is about 18 inches, Wrigley's is about 19 inches. And once you have that measurement, you're going to use the downloadable file that I have given you. It's a PDF. And you'll notice, first of all, it prints out in 4 pieces, like so. And I've already started taping this together, but if you trim it off right near these little marks. There's like a little angular mark. Let me bring it up to the camera so you can see. It's a little angular mark. So you're going to trim right across the top there and on this side of it on your border. Once you do that, you just match those up and it should make a little diamond in the middle. It should make a arrow right there and right there. And then you're just going to put all 4 pieces together, again matching those marks. So there's that, and we've got that right there. So that's how it's going to go together, and you're just going to tape it, and then you can cut out the pattern accordingly. Now, using that length of your dog collar, and again, Brinkley's was about 18, Wrigley's was about 19, so they fall in the extra large size. A 16-inch-ish is going to be in the large size, 14-inch medium, 12-inch small. So go ahead and figure out what size you need and cut your template out. Now, I've already cut mine out in acrylic. So I went ahead and cut all of my templates out in acrylic. I just like to do that for something that I know I'm going to make multiples of. It just makes it easier. So you can see that is the small, that is the medium, and then of course I've got the large and extra large here. These are see-through, so they're a little bit harder to see, but I'm going to use these for the sake of the video just to make it faster and easier to cut. So the first thing you're going to do, you need 2 pieces of fabric. Again, they could be the same or different if you want the front and back to be the same or not. And you're going to fold those in half. So I've got mine folded. The raw edges are here. This is my fold size. I've got them stacked right on top of each other. You can cut them separately if that's easier for you. You're going to take your template, and I'm using the extra large for Wrigley and Brinkley. And I'm just going to place this side on the fold. Now on your template, I have it marked, place on fold. So the straight side is on the fold. And I'm just going to cut all of these at once. This green fabric is just exactly as big as I need it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those out. Now, if I were doing this with a paper template, I would use my ruler as a straight edge, just because these are very straight cuts and just going to make it easy. All right, so now we have our 2 pieces of fabric. Let me get this out of the way. So if you open up your fabrics, they look something like this. And they should be identical. You want to put right sides together. And you're just going to pin across the top. Pin or clip, whatever you prefer. I'm usually a person that likes clips, but I have been on a pen kick lately. I don't know why. Now you want to take this over to your sewing machine and you're going to stitch just across that top using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So just across the top using a 1/4 inch. You can actually use any seam allowance you want, just be consistent. So if you're going to use a 1/2 inch, use a 1/2 inch on the entire project. I'm going to use a 1/4 inch. All right, once you've done that, you want to open it up. This is the right side. This is the wrong side. You're going to take it over to the iron and you're going to press open your seam allowance. So press this open. You can kind of do it with your finger to start with. So press your seam allowance open. So you can see I have pressed open that seam allowance. The next thing you're going to do is take it over to the iron again, or while you're at the iron, and you're just going to fold this straight edge in about a 1/4 inch, and I just eyeballed it, and then another 1/4 inch and press it. So I'm going to do the same thing to this end. I'm going to fold it in about a 1/4 inch, and it doesn't have to be exact. Another 1/4 inch, and then I'm going to press it, and then I'm going to stitch down this seam and this seam just to secure those in place. So go ahead and fold your edges in, press them, and then stitch them down. So once you're done with that, it should look like this. You can see I've sewn those edges down, and I did it on both sides. So now you want to fold it so the right sides go together and that seam is right along the top. You want to line everything up, starting with your sides, and flip or pin again the angled part up to where the straight part starts. So go ahead and pin that into place. If you want to add embroidery, I would recommend adding it prior to cutting your pieces or prior to this step. Once you've got it pinned, you're going to sew from about a 1/4 inch up on your straight edge. So I've made a mark right here. There's my straight edge. I'm up about a 1/4 inch from there. 1/4 inch on this side, made a mark. And we're going to stitch using the same seam allowance, a straight line down, back up, back stitching at the beginning and the end. Now, if you want to add a tag or anything on your project, I would recommend you do it now. So you're going to fold it in half, or however your tag is. You can put it on accordingly. I'm just going to slip one in right here. So then when I stitch through there, it will be on the inside and it will catch it. So now you can see I started about where my mark was, went straight down. I'm using 1/4 inch seam allowance, went back up to the other one. You want to cut off this tip. Be careful you don't cut into your stitches. And then you can reach inside here and turn this right side out. You want to use a chopstick or a pen with a cap or something and just reach inside. Make sure that everything is pushed out, your seams, like so. Because you opened that seam, this should lay nice across the top. At this point, I would take it over to the iron and give it another press. Make sure everything is laying nicely. Okay, so you can see I've got mine nice and pressed. The next thing we're going to do is grab a ruler, and you want to just make a straight line right across your straight area. So it helps to do this on a mat with a grid, but I'm going to wing it. And I'm just using a Pilot friction pin. Once you've got your straight line drawn, I want you to take it over to the sewing machine, and you're going to start from that line, sew down to the bottom. So back up, do your top stitching. You're going to skip this area, stitch across the top, and then stitch across this line. So basically we are top stitching the entire outside area except for our openings here. So across the top and from the line down, and then you're going to stitch the line down. I'm going to put my stitch length at a 4.0. You can do whatever you like. I just like a longer top stitching, and for this channel it doesn't really matter. So across the top, from the line to the point, from the line to the point, and across the line. So here's my finished bandana. So you can see my line's gone. I used a Pilot friction pen, and those just erase with the heat of an iron. So I just had to iron over that. And then I did my top stitching down here, up here, and across there. So now I have this nice little channel for either side, whether I want to use the front or the back. And all I have to do is take the dog color, push it through the channel, and there you go. So cute, so fun. I know my son and daughter-in-law love putting bandanas on their dogs. So I hope you have fun making these over-the-color dog bandanas. Super easy. Don't forget to grab your downloadable pattern. It is free on my blog, and it is linked in the description below the video. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to click that bell so that you're notified every time there's a new video. As always, never stop making. See ya. Bye-bye.